Hi, welcome back to Tap In Tuesdays with Kamitra. Seemed like it's been forever. I am so glad to be back. This is my bi-weekly podcast show. Um, and I have a lovely guest here with me. Just to let you know, if this is your first time watching, what we do here is we tap into the lives of successful entrepreneurs and we figure out or we get into dig into their business of how they are tapping into the other people's lives and helping them become successful as well. But this is a very important topic to me because if you didn't know, it is tax time. So I have a lot of questions for this young woman sitting right here next to me, and she is very successful herself, y'all. She has 2 degrees, I believe, from Texas A&M. She holds 2 degrees. One is from that's enough. LSU. She said, get it right. One is from LSU, which is a good college as well. Okay. And one is from Texas A&M. Okay. She owns her own business. She's an entrepreneur. She does accounting, QuickBooks. You do what? Tax strategist?
Tax strategy, payroll,
bookkeeping,
financial management for businesses.
All right. And her name is Kawana Marshall. Welcome to Tap In Tuesdays with Kamitra. We're so good it's good to have you here. I do have a lot of questions for you. I got some questions, but I want to tap into your journey like I always do. Tell the audience as well as myself a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? You're from Dallas? Where are you from?
No, I'm actually from Louisiana. I'm from a small town in Louisiana. Most people haven't heard of it, but it's Gloucester, Louisiana.
Gloucester, Louisiana.
Yeah,
what is that near?
Shreveport.
Okay. Shreveport. Okay.
Absolutely. So it's DeSoto Parish. If Louisiana has parishes
and counties. So, okay. I just learned that.
Okay.
So it's a parish.
Correct.
Okay, and not a county. Okay. So let me ask you, when you graduated from you grew up in Louisiana, of course. And so what got you here to Dallas?
Change of scenery. I always travel back and forth from Dallas. I'm from Louisiana to Dallas because it was the closest major city, and basically Dallas had a lot to offer versus Shreveport. So Shreveport's population is only 200,000, and I think it's decreasing now. So the economy is not where it needs to be. It could grow as well. So I just wanted to change the scenery.
Okay. And then you went to LSU for what? Did you graduate from LSU?
I got my accounting degree from LSU.
All right. Smart. Impressive. I was reading your resume and I was like, I'm impressed. You do a lot. And well, let me ask you this. Were you always accounting? I associate accounting with math. So were you always good in math?
Always. Yeah. That was one of my favorite subjects.
Believe it or not. Yours too? Okay, Bobby. And y'all, Bobby is with us again. Shout out to Bobby. So math is a good subject for you.
Yes, I absolutely love math. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, like, when I was in elementary, my teacher used to always have us do 100 questions in a minute. And it was just so competitive. So, that was my little thing, trying to
100 questions in a minute. Math questions. And you would literally answer the questions. Oh, I bet you was competitive. Oh, why I know you was. I bet you were competitive. Did you win all the time?
No, not all the time, but I win quite a bit.
I can see that. Okay, so let's move forward for your journey. Now you come to Dallas. So because you're an entrepreneur, so did you ever work? You worked for other major companies, right?
I worked for several Fortune 500 companies. I worked for AT&T. That was my first real job at AT&T.
That's a good job to have, though. That's a good company.
I actually worked for AT&T while I was in college. So,
okay.
Quick side note: my mom never wanted me to go to college because she said that a lot of people go to college, they waste a lot of money. So she was working at AT&T. So as soon as they started hiring, she was like, "Fill out this application." So I filled it out, but I continued to go to school.
Good for you.
And I went to school full time
and ended up graduating. Good for you. And look at you now. It worked out. Look, that's always your dream to own your own business, or you just wanted to work in accounting?
It was never really my dream to own my own business. I didn't even know at first when I started school at LSU, I started in occupational therapy. So I wanted to be in the medical industry. When they told me I had to work with a dead body for a while, I was like, it ain't gonna happen.
Right. You're like, I ain't working with no dead people.
Right.
What I know I'm good at. Wow. Okay. you wanted to work in the medical field. You would have been good at that too. I can see that.
I wanted to do occupational therapy because I wanted to work with athletes because I was a track. I ran track in high school.
So we ran.
Oh, yeah.
You played basketball? Were you good at that?
I was very good. Yeah.
Okay. And track.
Track. I was better at track. I had a lot of scholarships to go to college, with the track scholarship. But
wow.
I didn't do that.
A lot. Yeah. It worked out for you. You got a lot of gifts there. That's good to know. Can you still run a little bit?
Yeah. I still race my son. I was a 14-year-old. I still race him all the time.
Get out there and race him.
I feel like I can beat anybody still.
I told you she could look. She competitive. She like I can beat you still. What about basketball?
Now basketball is a different story.
Okay, so we run track. We play basketball. We good in math. Do your son know this about you? He does. Okay, yeah. So is he good in math?
He's great in math. And
okay.
Star.
Runs in the family. Shout out to son. And she put that out there. And he's a basketball star. Okay, so now you're in Dallas. Well, you're working for AT&T.
Mm-hmm. Well, I worked at AT&T when I was
in
19.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. So how long did you work?
Ago.
Yeah, I know about the majors ago. So how did you end up walking into doing taxes and accounting in your own business? Did you leave AT&T at that point?
The location in Shreveport actually closed.
So
that was back.
That was a closed door.
I don't tell the year.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't tell my years either. We just need to know it closed, so right?
The location in Shreveport closed.
Okay.
They actually moved the operations to Canada and Mexico.
Okay.
So that was during the whole NAFTA thing. So
okay. Okay. The mic. That's all. Go ahead.
So basically, so because the plant closed and I was in college, one of the good things about it is they paid for me to continue my education. So I was so lucky with that. AT&T paid for my degree.
Shout out to AT&T. AT&T paid for your degree. Wow, that's good. I'm like, wow, that's good. Come on. Okay.
So I finished that degree. Then I went on to work for another local manufacturing plant in Louisiana.
Okay. And did you like that?
I actually did. It wasn't bad.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. Then I started working for a pharmaceutical company in the same industry.
Okay.
And then my first business was not accounting. My first business was transportation and trucking.
I was going to ask you about that. So what is that? Well, I saw that on your website. What is the transportation and trucking?
So basically, my husband and I, we started a trucking company back in 2008. Yeah.
Okay.
So we started the trucking company in 2008. And it did very well. And that's what made me transition from working in the corporate environment to,
now owning your own business.
Owning my own business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you still young? Kind of. I mean, had you even made it to your 30s?
I've already given you
Too
1
much?
year.
I mean, you like, well, because it kind of seemed like, to us, or to me and people that's probably listening, it seemed like it went quick for you, but it wasn't that quick. Okay. So you was like, it went over a course of years.
Okay, I go ahead and tell. It's not a secret or whatever.
Right, it's not over. Well, how some people think that, it was an overnight success.
No,
okay. You had your blood, sweat, and tears.
Of
Okay.
course,
yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. But now you owning your own business. No more corporate America.
No more corporate America.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
So I started with my husband. We had a transportation company.
Okay.
And then I wanted to basically use my degree. So I basically started letting him run the trucking company solely. And then I opened up my accounting practice because, that's what my degree was in.
Right. Okay. So now you have your accounting practice. Let me ask you this, because how did you obtain customers, or business clients? Were you advertising a lot? Was it word of mouth?
It was a combination of many things. So basically in the state of, in Shreveport, Shreveport is small. So it's a small community of people.
Of course.
So I was a part of the African American Chamber there. So I was a board member there. So
smart.
I was part of different organizations. Part of Eastern Star. I was Alpha Kappa Alpha. Just so many different.
Shout out to the AKA. You didn't you forgot to tell us about that. You're AKA. What's the little noise y'all make?
part of
networking.
Networking
For anyone who wants to open their own business, she networked. You were a part of the Chamber of Commerce. You're in a sorority. I'm sorry. So, and did you do any advertising?
I actually did radio advertising.
Okay, radio.
When I first opened up, I did flyers. I did social media. Oh, my first commercial is so funny.
So she did a commercial. Look at you. Okay.
Did a commercial.
What was funny about the commercial?
Because it was so funny. I have it in my phone, but I recorded it on my iPad.
Okay.
And it was me, my sister, my mother-in-law, and one of my cousins. It was so funny.
So so the radio did, okay. So with the radio, I have to ask this. When you're doing radio, when you're advertising, because I've heard that radio can be very expensive. Did you do like one time every 5 hours or one time a day?
So I did the radio live basically when I opened up my second location in Shreveport. I had a location before, so I moved to a different location. So I had a radio personnel come to my office, and we did a broadcast for like several hours. So
okay. So is radio good too?
Radio is very good. And I was a regular on one of the morning shows out there. So to come out there and talk to the audience, about different things going on and with the tax laws and everything.
Okay. Speaking of taxes, we're gonna tap into taxes, and because she does taxes. I am so glad you brought that up. I do want to tap into that.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold off on the taxes because I do have a few questions about taxes. So now you own your own accounting. So what did you do with the accounting firm? Like what did you do with your clients when they come? Do they want you to do their books? Do they want you to watch their money?
So it's a combination of a lot of different things. So most people came to me because they wanted to have me prepare their taxes.
Oh, okay.
Individuals, some business owners.
Okay.
With the business owners, business clients, I did bookkeeping for them. I did payroll. I did financial management. I prepared financial statements, all of that. So if they need to go to the bank and get any type of funding, I would prepare their financial statements for them.
Oh, okay. And then, so how did you move into consulting?
So consulting just came naturally because I discovered that so many of the clients, they had these businesses, but the businesses were not properly structured. So that's how the consulting came in. So I started, having meetings with clients. These are the steps that you need to take in order to properly establish your business.
Okay.
In order to properly hire employees. Just to get, prepared for the legalities of having a business.
Okay. So then you combined accounting, the taxes, consulting, and the transportation.
So the transportation is totally
was separate.
Yes,
okay.
That's totally separate.
So you combined the payroll, QuickBooks. I've heard of QuickBooks. What is QuickBooks?
QuickBooks is a bookkeeping software. It's one of the most popular bookkeeping software for small businesses.
Okay. So, and you do the payroll. You do their payroll. Okay. And then you put in accounting.
Yeah.
So,
and then all of that is
all of it.
Okay.
Gotcha. And then you do the taxes.
Right.
Wow. Okay. So you just combined all that in one and was like, you know what? I got me a business here.
So that's kind of how the industry works.
Gotcha.
Everything under accounting, all of that basically falls under accounting, the bookkeeping, the payroll, the financial management. So, so that's how the business actually started. Those are the services.
So, So let me ask you this: the taxes. Do you only work for businesses, or you also work for people that don't have their own business?
So I have a majority of my clients. I would say probably about 70% have businesses, but with most businesses, they have what's called an LLC.
Okay.
And with an LLC, you file your business taxes along with your personal taxes. It's all on one 1040. You just have the various schedules that go with that. So unless they have like an S corporation, C corporation, or partnership, that's when the taxes are separate.
Wow, that's a lot of knowledge. That's a lot to learn. So that you read a lot? Do you read a lot about taxes, or it just
have to?
Yeah, because I wonder that about because that's Yeah, and I was going to ask you that about the changes. So every year or approaching, like you were approaching 2021, when do you start reading about the changes? Do you keep up with that every day or once
Actually,
a week?
I have alerts and notifications, and I'm part of different organizations. So whenever the tax law is updated, I get notifications. I just read because, different clients have different issues.
Yeah. I was going to ask you.
So, I have to stay abreast. And plus, I have to do continuing education to keep my license active.
Okay. Wow. So it's a lot into that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I know people look at the outside and they're like, she owns her own business. And you're like, girl, I work for this.
No, absolutely.
You're like, I work for this.
Yeah.
So I have a few questions about taxes. I want to tap into that. Because I see you're very knowledgeable. I want to ask this about 1099s. Okay. On the 1099 taxes, when you for a person who filed their 1099, can you give me some of the write-offs, like example for write-offs? Because I'm asking for myself, and then I got a lot of questions with that. And over the years, people think that you can just write off certain things, and it's just that easy. And I'll write this off and write that off. So, what are some write-offs that we can use?
Well, the short answer is you can write off anything that's ordinary and necessary for your business to operate.
Ordinary and necessary.
So keep in mind, if
words.
You have to purchase supplies, if you pay for advertising, if you pay contractors, if you pay rent on a building, utilities, your cell phone, any type of clothing that you purchase, if you have it embroidered, something that you can't wear anywhere else, you can write all that off.
Okay.
If you have, if you get your makeup done for a photo shoot, things like that.
I did not know. I did not know that. Did you know that, Bobby?
Yeah. So
I did not know that. You're like, Bobby, like, huh? I didn't know that.
For this microphone.
For my podcast?
All of that, yeah. If you purchase certain prompts that you want in the videos, for your podcast, you can write that off. Absolutely. If you get your jacket embroidered with your podcast name on it, you can write that off. It's just so many different things. But if it's ordinary and necessary for you to run your business, you can write it off. Basically.
Two words.
Think about it like that.
Ordinary and necessary. You can write it off. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Okay. What about if you don't have a 1099 though, and you're just filing a regular 1040? I know, and you have dependents, you can write off. What can you write off? You can write off daycare.
Yeah.
Okay. You can write off daycare. Can you write off the babysitter?
So that's part of the daycare. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You like, so that's part of the daycare. So I can write. I thought the babysitter. Okay, you're right. Because I'm thinking the babysitter at home. Yeah.
Also daycare, babysitter. Yeah.
Okay, you can write all that off. Okay.
You'll have to, collect their full name if they have a company.
Okay.
Their EIN. If they don't have an EIN, their social.
Okay.
How much you paid them for the year.
Okay. So babysitter, daycare, all run the same. Okay. What about I will have to ask this. What about after school activities? Is there any way you can write off the uniform you had to purchase for the child? I'm just asking.
No.
People try to get
no.
Right. Okay. You stop them right there. You're like, no.
So the state allows you to write off like uniforms and books, but it's not a huge,
Yeah, I was wondering that. Okay.
But Texas doesn't have state tax like Louisiana has state tax.
Okay.
Like a $20 credit or something like that. But
Okay.
It's not much.
Oh, okay. I do. Okay. So let me ask you this. What about your tithes?
Charitable contribution.
Yeah. How much do you have to pay into tithes? Is there a certain amount?
No.
It doesn't matter?
Well, I put it like this. So if you itemize.
Okay.
Well, there's so many different rules.
Okay.
So this year with the CARES Act, you don't have to itemize to get a $300 charitable contribution deduction on your taxes. So that's a credit that you can get this year for the Tax Cuts and Jobs. Well, not CARES Act. But
so I can do. Okay.
So ordinarily, you'll have to itemize in order to get the deduction for your charitable contributions.
Okay.
To church, tithes to any type of 501c.
If I gave clothes.
If you gave clothes, yeah. So
food.
Yeah, if you donated to any organization that's considered a 501c3 nonprofit,
Gotcha.
So there's a website, the irs.gov. You can go there to make sure that they are a tax exempt organization.
Okay.
If they're not tax exempt, if you're just giving away clothes to an individual, it's not tax deductible.
Gotcha. Smart. I got some more questions. Okay. Okay, so let me ask you this. We got to the write-offs. Okay, so my question to you is, if someone did DM me, if someone owes child support, it ain't me because mine's is grown. I'm just saying, but if someone owes child support, can they still receive their stimulus check?
Child support. So there is a phone number and also a link that you can go to on the IRS website to see if you can get your stimulus as well as your regular tax refund.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look the number up because I don't know the number off the top of my head. But
they can reach out to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to you though.
Okay.
So the Treasury offset number is the 1-800 number is 800 304 3107. So if you call that number, the taxpayer can put in their social.
Okay.
And it's an automated system, and it will let them know whether or not their tax refund will be offset because of student loan or state tax or federal tax that they owe.
Okay. So let me ask you this: is the CARES Act helping this year for taxpayers?
Of course, yes.
It is.
It does have some different things,
that you can do with that when you file, even for the 1099.
Well, specifically, it really depends.
Okay.
It really depends, but there are so many different things in the CARES Act.
Yeah,
the CARES Act is really for like the different SBA loans, the PPP, the EIDL, things like that.
Okay.
But with the CARES Act, you do have to. I know a lot of people receive unemployment for a while.
Yeah.
You do have to file your unemployment, but that's
how. Okay, so it's gonna help everyone. The CARES a little bit. A little bit.
It just depends on the situation. I would have to have a
look at it. That makes sense. Okay, but it's gonna. I know with the unemployment though, and speaking of unemployment, it's best to have them take out your taxes, or it doesn't matter.
It depends on your situation.
Okay.
Because if you had a job where you had your job taken out a substantial amount of taxes, it may even out if you don't have your unemployment tax. But I wouldn't know. It would be based on your tax bracket of all your income.
Gotcha.
I would have to look at your full picture in order to tell you that.
Very good. Okay. So let me ask you this. How long can you carry a dependent on your taxes to receive a credit for them? How old do they have? That's my question. How long can you carry them? Up to what age?
So basically, if your child is in school, you can carry them up to age 24.
Okay, 24.
Once you're over 16, you can't get the child tax credit for them, but you still can carry them as a dependent as long as they're in school.
Okay.
Up to age 24.
Age 24. Okay. All right. That's good too. Look at you have a question, Bobby? Yeah, mine will be 20 in March, but that's why I was asking. Because they do have.
If they're in college,
she is. Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's good. Thank you. Now we're tapping into them taxes. Okay, so and if they haven't received the stimulus check, they can also put it on their tax. Okay.
So even if someone had a child this year and didn't receive their stimulus check, well, not this year, in 2020.
Okay.
They can basically file to get the stimulus for the child, the first and second stimulus, if they had a baby in 2020. But what you're asking is, if you didn't receive your stimulus check and you were owed a stimulus check, it's called the rebate recovery credit.
Recovery credit.
Yes. So you file that on your 2020 taxes, and you'll be able to get that as a credit, or part of your refund.
Okay. Okay. So, and let me ask you this: how long do you have to pay? How long? Say, for instance, you're 1099, and you don't pay into your taxes for 2021. You don't do it for 2022. How long do you have? Is it so? What I mean is, like, is it a time limit?
It's called tax evasion.
Because someone asked me that time. Don't I have about 3 years? I said I'll ask her.
Well, you have 3 years to claim a refund.
Okay, but you don't have a time limit to file the tax.
So if you're not filing year after year, that's tax evasion, and there's a time limit that the IRS has to come back on you for tax evasion. Yeah, that's negligence. And
gotcha.
You can be, assessed so many different penalties for negligence.
Okay.
So that's something that you don't want to get into.
Right. You're like, okay, well, I didn't file. I'm gonna file in 2022. So no, you can't do that.
Okay, I'll put it like this: if you have a 1099, you didn't file for 2020.
Okay.
You didn't file 2021, and you filed for 2022. You're going to get a penalty if
Gotcha.
you end up owing. If you don't owe and you're due a refund, like I said, you can claim your refund. You have up to 3 years to claim your refund.
But that's what they're thinking, but it's not. Yeah.
Each year, you're going to get a penalty 5% per month for failure to file, and then another penalty failure to pay. So you're going to be assessed 2 penalties if you end up owing for those years. Failure to file and failure to pay.
That's tax evasion. So it's better. She says tax evasion. So it's better to just pay instead of penalties. Yes. Gotcha.
And interest.
Okay. And interest. Woo. Okay. You got any questions, Bobby? Yeah, you can ask her. Yeah. Okay.
So with an S corp, this is what I tell my clients. If your business is generating income, and I'm saying net income, so after your revenue minus your expenses, and if you were making over, I would say, it depends on if you have dependents and things like that. But kind of the sweet spot is 80,000 to 100,000. If you're netting that amount, an S corporation will technically help you to reduce your self-employment tax, because if not, you'll owe income tax on that amount plus self-employment tax. Self-employment tax is Social Security and Medicare tax, and basically everyone pays into that. Social Security and Medicare, and it's 7.65%, 6.2 for Social Security and 1.45 for Medicare.
Look at all those numbers she has to remember. I'm like, she look at all those numbers.
Yeah.
I know.
So basically, an S corp will help you to reduce your self-employment tax, and basically you have to pay yourself what's called a reasonable salary. And the reasonable salary is, say for instance, if you were to hire somebody else to do the same job, what would be that reasonable salary that you would pay based on your industry and that specific market?
Okay, so my next question is this. What if you make a mistake on your tax return?
You can file an amendment.
Okay, you file an amendment. Okay, so you can. That's good to know. And let me ask you this: when like you have some of your elderlies and just people in general, not just elderlies, that receive a Social Security check, you don't pay taxes on that, right?
So the answer is it depends.
Okay.
So if they're receiving other forms of income, you have to add that income up to determine what amount, if any, is taxable on the Social Security. But it really depends if they have other income.
Okay. So is there a penalty if you don't file by the deadline, which is what is usually April?
Of course.
What's the you
April,
of course.
Yes, April 15th for individuals filing a 1040, and it's March 15th if you have a partnership or S corporation.
Okay.
So
all right.
The penalty starts the very next day.
Ooh.
If you owe.
So March 5th.
So let's keep this in mind. If you owe, there's a penalty for failure to file and failure to pay on time. If you are due a refund, there's no penalty. So just keep that in mind. So
Okay. So if you owe, say that one more time for me.
If you owe,
you
file after the due date, there's a failure to file and a failure to pay penalty. But if you're due a refund, there's no penalty.
Oh, wow. Okay. And let me ask you, do they always take your taxes if you owe in student loans, or what if you set up a payment arrangement with your student loan?
So that's based on the student loan service provider. So if they report it to the IRS and the IRS has it in their system, that's why you call that Treasury offset number to determine whether or not they've already, passed that information on.
Okay.
And, they're going to offset your tax return. So there's no just, short answer to that. It really depends on what your servicer has provided or not provided.
Okay. Well, what's the maximum refund?
There's no maximum refund.
It's not? Okay.
There is a misconception that there's a maximum refund. I'll put it like this. Your refund is based on so many different things. So if you're a business owner and you paid in quarterly, you can potentially get that back plus any other credits that you're due. And this year with the CARES Act, there's a thing called net operating loss carryback. So you can get money that you paid in years ago up to 5 years before.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to call you. Look, when we get off the podcast.
Maximum refund.
Because you hear that.
That's just a selling advertising marketing tactic for just W-2, a person that only has W-2. But they're talking about like the maximum earned income credit. There's no maximum refund. Some people get refunds of $1 million. Some get, Yeah,
I was wondering. I was like, what does that mean, maximum refund? So if I come to you, this is the max. If I come to you and you file my taxes for me, so there's a max on my refund.
So they're talking about the maximum earned income credit.
Got it.
Based on the number of children and your child tax credit plus your any other refundable credits that you may have. But there's no maximum refund. No.
I'm so glad because you see the advertisement a lot, and that's what I thank you, very knowledgeable. Yeah, it is. Sometimes you come out your car from the grocery store. I mean, you come out the store to your car. I need to say that right. You're walking out the grocery store, and I walk to my car, and on my window there's a little advertisement. It says maximum refund amount, and
they're basically saying that we can get you the maximum refund. But if they know the tax law, anybody can get you what is actually due to you, the maximum amount that's due to you.
Got it.
There's no maximum amount that's due to you. It
depends
on your overall situation. You may have paid in estimated taxes of $10 million. And then at the end of the year, when you file your taxes, that's what's called a reconciliation. So once the reconciliation is done, you may be due all of that, $5-10 million back. So it really just depends. So there's no such thing as a maximum refund.
Okay. When is the earliest date to file? When can you file this year?
So the IRS is not going to start accepting returns until the 12th of February.
Oh, okay.
But there are companies such as mine.
Okay. You want to give it?
We're offering what's called refund advances. So basically, you can file now and get an advance on your refund through a third-party bank that we partner with.
Okay.
For people that are in dire need of, cash right now before, the IRS starts accepting, returns.
Okay.
They can opt to get, an advance.
Okay, and tell us the name of your business, because I just called her Kawana. I know. Okay. Let me pull this up so they can hear you.
It's Infinity Tax and Accounting.
Can you hear? Okay, Infinity Tax and Accounting. Okay, and you're located in Dallas, of course, because I know we talked about Shreveport. Now she's in Dallas.
So the business is actually based out of Louisiana.
Okay.
But with everything going on with COVID, everything is very virtual. So basically, you can contact me on my website. Contact me by phone, by email. There are so many different ways that you can contact me to, get your documents over to me. I'll send you out a link. The link allows you to enter your information on your phone, and you can upload your documents and send to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know for years we talked about Rapid. With everything that's going on with the COVID, I do want to tap into that real quick. Can you get a Rapid refund?
That's what the advance is that I was just talking about.
Okay, so it's advanced. It's not like it used to be.
It's called a rapid refund. You can call it a rapid refund or an advance, but it's basically a loan
Gotcha.
from a third-party bank.
Gotcha.
So the IRS is not giving it to you early. It's a loan from a third-party service provider.
Okay, because you remember, I know I used to go Rapid, and it would come back in 72 hours. Yeah. What happened?
It will come back in 24. Sometimes same day. It depends on the amount.
She said mine will come back 20. Okay, so anyone want to if you want your if you need some quick cash, contact Infinity
Tax and
Accounting. And you said that it depends on the circumstance though. Yeah. So what's the percentage of taxpayers? What is the percentage that is approved, would you say?
I would say maybe about 80%.
That's approved. Good. Yeah. That's a good number.
So the only thing that the banks really tell us, the reason why they don't approve everyone, is they're just straight Schedule C. So if somebody has basically a business and they're filing a refund, and they have two dependents or whatever, they'll look at that along with past history to determine whether or not they'll get paid. But they're not pulling a credit report or anything. It's just the percentage of whether or not the IRS is going to pay the third party on time, based on their underwriting criteria.
Oh, okay. So there's some underlining guidelines there. Okay.
But it's no credit. It's not credit based at all.
Because I know that's what some people are going to think, that they're going to go by their credit. Yeah. Okay. So it's you said at least 24 hours or 48 hours
it's
sometimes?
24 to 48 hours, yes.
Okay. What's the max on that to the advance, the wrap?
6,000. My company offers $6,000.
So, okay, so they can get back $6,000 rapid?
Yes, if they're getting if they're owed at least a $6,000 tax refund, they can get $6,000 back within 24 to 48 hours.
Ah, okay.
It's called a refund advance.
A refund advance. Okay. Now, 1099 can do that as well?
They can if they have, a W-2 or other forms of income.
Okay.
It's just as long as, they have substantiation to, to their income. I'm talking about people like hairstylists, that don't receive 1099s. They just have to report their income, so it's a little bit more difficult for them to get the advance.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. So I do have a question for you. Are you located in Dallas now, or I know you're in Shreveport too? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me ask you this. Oh, my train of thought. I sure was about to ask COVID. That's what I was going to ask you about COVID. Since you deal with so many different clients and their businesses, have you seen a decrease? Or has it been steady in like clientele with your business? Did COVID affect you any?
Honestly,
at the beginning, in the middle, did you see where you was like, "Ooh, this I wish this just go away"?
Honestly, last year, 2020, was one of my busiest years because the tax deadline got pushed out to July 15th. Okay. So instead of the tax season kind of ending on April 15th, it was pushed out to July 15th.
Okay.
And then for the people that filed extensions, so it was like a full year of nonstop constant work. So I won't complain.
Okay. I won't complain. No. Okay.
And then plus with the SBA loans and everything, I was helping people get theirs. I was acting as an agent for them to help them, apply for the different SBA loans, the PPP and the EIDL.
So the SBA loan, let's talk about the SBA loan and the PPP.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about those loans for the people that don't know.
Okay. So basically there are two different types of loans that the SBA is offering for COVID.
Okay.
The PPP is the Paycheck Protection Program loan.
Okay.
That is to basically replace your payroll for 2.5 months or 3.5 months now if you're a restaurant. So, but you have to either replace the payroll for either yourself, but if you're paying everybody on 1099, you only get to claim yourself. But if you have W-2 employees, you get to claim them as well to get more of the PPP. So if a single member LLC does not have any W-2 employees and they only have contractors, they can only get a max, depending on how much net income they have, of $20,833. But
because
depending on their net income and what a lot of people need to know to see if they qualify, your business your business has to have been open by February 15th, 2020.
Okay.
And the amount that you qualify for is based on, if you're a single member LLC, line 31 of your Schedule C. So you take line 31, divide that by 12 to get your average monthly.
And this is on your tax return?
Yes, on your tax return, Schedule C. Take line 31, divide that by 12 months to get your average monthly, what they call income.
Okay.
And then multiply that by 2.5. And that's what the SBA is going to pay you. And that loan can be 100% forgivable if you use it for payroll.
Oh, okay. Well, let me ask you this question. I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay, so the SBA loan and the PPP,
they all come from the SBA.
They are okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. For someone who's doesn't know,
some people are calling the EIDL the SBA loan, and some people are calling the PPP. But they're all part of the SBA COVID CARES Act program.
Okay, so you don't just go to a website and answer a few questions?
Well,
or do you?
For the PPP, you have to go through a bank, and a bank that's approved by the SBA.
Okay.
For the EIDL, you go to SBA.gov, complete the application, put in your information, and that's how you apply for the EIDL.
Okay.
So, two different loans, and you apply for them two different ways.
Is there a max?
Like I said, for the PPP,
Right.
it depends on if you have W-2 employees or not.
Okay.
Like I said, if you're a single member LLC, the max is $20,836.
You did say that. Well, you did look. You did say that, but I'm like, what about? Okay, I'm talking about a max. Like, what about some $20,000? Let me rephrase that question, because that's not a lot for some people with a business. So maybe
if you have W-2 employees, you're going to get more for those W-2 employees. You're going to get
enough
to cover their payroll.
Right.
Or if you're a restaurant, you're going to get more to cover them for 3.5 months. Now the EIDL, it started out being a maximum of $2 million, but it was reduced down to $150,000. So yes.
Okay, I guess because that's what I heard you say. I get the $20,000, but I think I'm just thinking about the bigger corporations. But you're saying, okay, well, they have W-2 employees, then of course they're going to get more.
Yeah.
Is there a max on that or no?
Not to my knowledge, no. It depends on.
So they can loan them up to $50 million if they had to.
It depends on the number of employees that they have, but.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was curious.
Like,
I had no idea.
Like some of the NBA teams actually receive PPP loans, but I think they end up returning the loans.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Because initially the guidelines were not.
What is the? What?
Where they apply for all these loans and like they get millions of dollars.
Yeah, they were getting millions.
I have not.
Fraud.
Yeah.
Because they're lying about how much they make their employees have.
Correct.
Because they're actually getting this money until they flag them.
Correct.
Well, I guess I'm a little confused because I've heard some people say, "Well, I got 50,000."
That's probably for the EIDL. But if they did get,
and that's what they didn't tell me.
PPP, that means that they put down that they had W-2 employees.
I got that now.
They had to file either a 940 or provide a copy of their W-3, and the W-3 is a summation of all their employees, how much they paid them for that year for 2019. Basically, that's what they were pulling.
Okay, they just didn't tell me that part.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, it's almost like that people don't break that down to you because I'm like,
they were probably getting the EIDL.
Yeah, she's real knowledgeable. Yeah, real knowledgeable. But if you're having a conversation, great information. But thank you so much. Great information. Like she didn't even say one time. She just go in and she answered the question. She's like, well, let me explain. I'm like, I had a brain freeze because I had so many questions and she was answering them. I said, I know. I go in, don't it? But I was like, I forgot the next question.
Yeah,
but that's good though because
that's the one that most people were getting more money. They were getting over the $20,000.
Wow. Oh, okay. So now I understand. Yeah. That's why, and all you're getting an understanding. I'm glad you answered these questions. Thank you so much. Thank you for even coming out and being on Tap In Tuesdays with Kimitra. It is great. I do want to add your business, your consultant, entrepreneur, anything else outside of your own business. Do you tap into other people's lives? You're just helping your clients. What do you do outside of work? I'm curious.
What do I do outside of work? So much of my time is spent working.
Okay.
And also I like to participate in different, I would say, like podcasts and different webinars.
Good.
Helping business owners, telling them and instructing them, training them on the necessary steps to take in order to set up your business properly in the beginning so that you won't have to, go back, and try to put out fires whenever you receive these notices or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That's good too. That's what you do outside of the business in itself.
No, I really do that as part of the business.
What do you do for Kiwana though? Yeah, that's good too. What do you do for?
With COVID going on, there's not much to do.
Why? What do you like to do though, Kiwana? What do you like to do?
I like to travel.
We see the business side. You like to travel?
I
know.
To travel. I spend a lot of time with my youngest son. He's 14.
Okay. How many kids?
I have 2.
Okay. All right. Shout out to the 14-year-old who is a basketball superstar. I remember that.
Yes, he is. So I spend a lot of time, with him back and forth. He goes to practice a lot, even during COVID, and he's working with a trainer right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so we do that twice a week, the training plus the practice. So I'm always running probably every day, taking him to some type of activity for basketball.
Oh, okay. So besides traveling, you taking care of the babies? Right. I thought she was gonna say, "Well, I got a facial." No, no facials.
Right now,
Right
during
now.
COVID, I do a lot of work. And,
Okay. What did you do before? What did you like besides traveling?
What do I like to do?
Shop. We are. I mean, I've been shopping online too.
Well,
I have. I went to the mall during Christmas. I did, but it's just the walking around the mall with the. I was at North Park. The mask. It was so hot to me, and I'm not used to it. We're not used to walking around with a mask on, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I like to try my clothes on.
you do.
Mhm.
I'm just like, I've learned to like return because I just started learning how to return like through the
Online.
delivery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that's a hassle.
But it would be little things like, I know I'm a return, but like if it's like something like a nice dress or something, I'm like.
I just like to attend different events,
You do?
So yeah.
Any events coming up that we should know about?
Well, I don't know if they're going to be canceled because of COVID, so no one really knows.
Do you ever do like tax consultant events on your own, like just for your business? Have you ever did that?
Specifically for my business, no.
Okay.
I'm asked, to like participate with others in their events and things like that. Just talk,
Yeah.
seminars and
Mhm.
seminars.
Do you like seminars?
I do.
I'm not you do?
Absolutely.
Yeah. The seminars are knowledgeable though. You gain a lot of knowledge attending seminars. So besides that, well, now COVID's going on and taking care of your son, you like to shop. You shopping online?
Of course. Daily.
Which one of your favorite stores? Do you have many?
My
Or do you have a
favorite-
top one that I go to, like my go-to store? I have a go-to store.
I really don't have a go-to store.
You know? You have a go-to store, Bobby?
Because I think
You know how? Remember, I was looking when you,
I've never really shopped online just here and there, but because of COVID, I'm like,
if you looking for a pair of
Yeah.
shoes or you don't have that, like, oh, I know they'll have this. If I,
Shoes, I would say no. I don't have a go-to.
I'll just like Google what's nice or whatever. I feel like
Yeah.
right? Or if you know how some one thing will lead you to another.
Mhm.
Oh, I never would have thought I could have been saving all this money. I'll be mad at myself because there'd be some other websites and like what I actually tried recently is Shein.
I get that email a lot.
Yeah, so I just try different stores. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I do. I try different stores. No favorites.
I was like, because
Yeah.
they're literally from China, and I just always do the quick shipping.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just try things like that. Just to see if how it's really worth it.
So, and shopping could be not only for you. You like shopping for your kids. Not really.
My son does not want anything except hoodies. and
Really?
basketball shoes. That's
Okay,
all.
so
I have to make.
I don't have a boy. I had girl. We have all girls, and I hear that about boys. They're pretty easy because
Yeah.
girls. My daughter had everything I had, and she wanted it.
My son doesn't want anything except the new Jordans. Different tennis shoes, whoever's popular, and a hoodie. That's all.
Do you shop? Do you like to shop for your home? Do you like to decorate?
Yes, absolutely.
See, there you go. There
So
she
my
go.
go-to store is
Right.
the gallery. I'll put it like that.
Oh wow, you like Z Gallery? Okay. The Z Gallery. I haven't been in Z Gallery though. I heard a lot about. I know. Look, you talking about girl? You ain't been in. What did I?
I see your cute bud.
Okay. I have heard a lot about it. When I said I was gonna go, I didn't end up going. COVID has kept me from a lot of the decorating part of my house because I'm like, oh, I don't know why I'm going in here.
Oh,
Yeah,
got
my
so
sis-
much from Wayfair.
Yeah, my sister got her a couch from Wayfair.
Yeah.
Overstock. I've heard a lot about Overstock.
Yeah.
In DeSoto.
The same week.
I think it's off 35.
Yeah.
I have to check out Wayfair though. Well, I'm definitely gonna check out Z Gallery. I am.
You won't be disappointed.
I won't. Okay. Z Gallery, Wayfair, Overstocked, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just for those. Okay.
With those, you'll find everything you need in those.
Really? Okay. Is it like what kind of decor is it though? Because I have
Chic, contemporary.
I figured that. You
You'll
okay.
love it, I'm telling you.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm
It's
gonna
gonna be something that you find that you absolutely have to have out of there.
really okay.
That'll be your focal point, around one item. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Like Z Gallery.
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all know when I go. I'm gonna wait till everything.
You're gonna go in there and be like,
I'm gonna say, wow, Kawana was
You
right.
go broke in a day.
Oh. Is it really expensive or is
it's reasonable and
Okay.
they always have 25% off coupons.
You're gonna want everything. That's just
Yeah,
there's-
everything.
okay? I'm gonna
You're
go.
gonna get your flatware. You're gonna get.
What about bathroom accessories?
Yeah, bathroom accessories.
I'm going.
You're gonna get mirrors. You're gonna see the most beautiful mirrors, the most beautiful paintings,
All that.
comforters.
Oh, I'm looking for some comforters, and I do want some. I do want a mirror. I do want some mirror. Okay. So we're going to Z Gallery. Okay, I'm going there. Y'all heard her first. I okay.
Then get to the cashiers.
So we know what Kawana likes to do outside of consulting, accounting. She likes to shop. It came out. She's like, well, yeah, it came out. It's her home.
Yeah.
So we got her there. Well, I think, what time is it now? We got time? I got 10 minutes. Okay. I just have one more question before we shut it down. Okay. So besides this, we know about the accounting, we know about consulting, we know about taxes, transportation. What you said?
Keep going.
What does the future hold for you? Do you want to do anything else besides what you went to school for? I'm just curious. Like, what else do you have your mindset on? Anything?
You know what? I do a lot of. Well, I haven't done it lately.
Okay.
But I like to sew.
Yeah,
I have this sewing machine. I've sewn comforters, pillows, skirts, dresses. Yeah.
Wow, very
Yeah, I
good.
my grandmother.
That's a great hobby.
Yeah.
You probably would be very good at that. So you can sew in. Well,
No, I can't sew anything.
I can't even get it out. You're like, no, I can't sew anything.
One of the things that I'm working on is basically a nonprofit, and it's going to be to provide resources in the form of education, training, capital for Black and Brown owned businesses.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's one of the things that I'm working on right now.
Okay. And when do you project that? That's nice
So
to be
that's gonna
finished
happen
in
sometime in 2021 this year.
Really? That quick? Okay. Is it going to be located here in Dallas?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And do you have an idea of what areas you're going to target? Yeah, I know that. Is all that included in a business plan, or because does it take a while for a nonprofit to start a nonprofit?
So it basically is going to be dependent upon the Department of Treasury, because you can't start it until you get that 501c3 exemption from the Department of Treasury.
Okay.
And right now with COVID, it can take anywhere from 3 months to 6 months, but it just maybe 9 months. It just really depends. The Department of Treasury is so behind right now. So.
Okay. So you have to obtain.
I'm at their mercy right now.
Oh, okay. So you have to obtain your 501c3 first. And then do they require you to have the location, the actual location of where you want it?
Well, you have to put down a location. So
Okay.
What I train a lot of people on when they're starting a business, if they don't have a building or an office space picked out, select a virtual address and get a 1-800 phone number.
Okay. And how do they obtain the 1-800 number? Just by calling?
Yeah, you can use services like Ring Central. You can use Nextiva.
Okay.
So many different, options that you can use. Just research 1-800 numbers.
Okay. So you don't have do they have to have a 1-800 number?
No, they can use the local number.
Okay. So and you'll just go through your phone carrier for that, right? For a local number or Ring Central?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go through like AT&T, Verizon if you choose to as well.
Okay. So you got the land, you have to have an address.
Yeah. So like I said, use the virtual address if you don't already have an office space or anything picked out.
Okay. I was thinking about a nonprofit. That's good. So on the nonprofit, let me ask you this before I let you go. With the nonprofit, can you obtain a salary by opening up a nonprofit?
So basically with the programs that you offer,
okay,
there are certain positions that require a full-time person, part-time person. So if that person is going to be working, or even if you, the founder,
okay,
you can actually be put on payroll for different programs. So yes. So salaries can be paid through nonprofits. But so if you take a look and do some research, CEOs of nonprofits, executive directors of nonprofits, different program directors are paid a salary.
And that's how, because you put yourself on
in the grant.
Okay. Grants. How long does it take for the grant? It depends
on that particular grant. So every grant is going to be different or is different.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I open my nonprofit. I put myself down as the CEO, and then I choose my location. I obtain my 1-800 number.
Mm-hmm. You have to get the corporation with the state first. You have to get an EIN number as well. You have to get a business bank account. So there are other steps that we didn't talk about.
We need to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not just for the nonprofit. That's for opening up a business.
Correct.
Okay, that we didn't get to.
Correct.
All right, we got 5 minutes. Let's get to that part. We're gonna go on and get it out of you now, right? Let's go. Okay, so opening up your own business. She gonna tell us how to do that. What's our first step?
First, you need to get a good plan together. So you need to create a business plan on, what you plan to do. What is your mission and vision of the organization?
Gotcha. Okay.
I would recommend putting it on paper.
Okay.
So you have to have a corporation or LLC.
Gotcha.
For a nonprofit, you have to have a corporation.
Okay.
You need an EIN number. That's your tax ID number.
Okay.
EIN stands for Employer Identification Number.
Okay.
You need to have a business bank account because you don't want to miss the nonprofit revenue or income with your personal. So you need to open up a separate business account.
Okay.
Then you need to go to whatever county or parish that you're in to see if they have any requirements for business licenses.
Okay.
You may have to get a certificate of occupancy and an occupational license as well.
Okay.
Then you would apply for your 501c3 exemption through the Department of Treasury.
Okay.
That's the online form you can find at pay.gov.
Okay.
There's it's a form 1023 or 1023EZ.
Okay.
So the cost of that form is either $275 or like $650 for the long form.
Okay.
So it really just depends on which form that you're using.
Okay.
So if you use the EZ form for the nonprofit, and I know getting very technical, but these are the steps that you have to take.
Okay. So that's to open up the nonprofit.
Yeah, to get the 501c3 exemption through the Department of Treasury.
Okay. So just to open up your business, if you want to open up a business for anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur, those are the steps that you just said prior. Those are a lot of steps. Do people get impatient?
Yeah, so that's what I find.
And I could see that.
I wanted to start this nonprofit was to provide the training and the education that people need. Because I see so many millennials now, they're starting businesses, but they're just opening up and they're making all this money, but then they come to me because they haven't filed taxes in 2 years, but they don't even have an LLC.
We talked about those taxes.
The business income going into their personal, so they're commingling all that money, and then they want to buy a house, but they don't have any tax returns, all of that. So those are the things that I've experienced when I'm talking with, I would say, young business owners.
Okay. Keep your business separate from your personal. Correct. And that's not only your bank account. I'm going to give
yes.
Bing, that's free. I'm going to give you that one for free. Thank you so much. That is real knowledgeable. I interviewed a lot of people. Even Bobby can tell you, I was sitting there, I was like, well, she didn't answer everything. But I'm glad you mentioned that about opening up the business, because you do that on a day-to-day basis. And you do want somebody in your corner that's knowledgeable. So I will be using your services. I feel secure. I like people that know what they're talking about. Like I said, again, she never said, duh. You're like, I'm out here doing this. I got you. And you want that on your team. You do. You want someone who knows what they're doing. How can they reach you, Kawana?
They can reach me on my website.
Okay.
It's actually KawanaMarshall.com.
And they have to make an appointment?
They have to make an appointment. If you go to book online, you can schedule a consultation, tax planning consultation, a tax preparation consultation, just a general consultation.
Okay. So tax planning?
Mm-hmm. Tax planning is basically looking at ways that you can save money on your taxes based on your particular situation. Like some people don't know that they can open up different retirement accounts to save money. They don't know that an S corporation election may help them save money on their taxes. They don't know that hiring their children may help them save money on their taxes. They don't know
hiring your child.
purchasing a vehicle.
Hiring your child?
It's so much I can talk about. It'll take weeks.
Okay, that's fine. But you see hiring your child. Okay. So that's tax planning. Okay. And the prices are on your website.
Some of them.
Some of them. Okay.
Depends.
It depends on the
The
circumstance.
tax planning is not going to be on the website because, we're going to assess your overall situation.
Okay.
And it depends on what strategies are recommended.
Okay.
That will be put in place.
Okay. And if you're looking for consulting of opening up your own business, they can book an appointment on there as well. It's KawanaMarshall.com. Tax strategist, tax planning, consulting, QuickBooks. You can do payroll for your company. What else?
If you need financial statements.
For the
SBA loans,
Okay.
One of the requirements is either you have a Schedule C, your K-1, or your financials for the year.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Shout out to Kawana.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And they can follow you on Instagram?
Yeah. It's actually on Instagram. It's K, the letter K, the accountant.
Okay. And are you on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook under Kawana, yes.
Under Kawana. Okay. And again, her website is KawanaMarshall.com. I will see you all in 2 weeks. Again, this is Tap In Tuesdays with Kamitra. My next guest will be back in 2 weeks. And thank you so much again for the knowledge. I've learned a lot. Thank you for Bobby, the beautiful Bobby. She gave her input as well. Any questions, comments, concerns? We good? It was great. Yes, I love it. Thank you so much. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.